okay, well, it is probably like 110 degrees outside and I feel like I'm on fire. But I'm on my way to a pool to go on a paid date with somebody. It's a $500 date. I think I've mentioned it before. This was the guy that right as soon as I had a little bit of an altercation with somebody that asked for his money back, I was like, brush it off. I was like, let it go. It's not a big deal. When you have something bad happen to you at work, no matter what it is absolutely in your best interest to brush it off. Don't let that feeling sit with you. Don't think about that person. Don't concern yourself with anything that just happened. Let it go, because it's not affecting them any, and it's affecting your money. So let it go. It's not worth it. So as soon as I did that, literally, as soon as I did that, I walk up to this guy and he was like, I think I mentioned this already, but he was like, I've got to go right now. I would love to dance with you, but you know, my friend's literally about to walk out of the VIP room. We've already called our Uber and I got to go like as soon as he walks out the door. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, God, I would love to just spend a bunch of money on you. And I was like, well, we can do that. I think he said outside of here. And I was like, well, we can do that. And he was like, what did you have in mind? And I was like, listen, I would love to go out with you. If you would compensate me for my time, I would love to come out with you. I was like, I work all the time, but I would love to meet you outside of here. And he said, sure. So he was like, or he said, you know, how much? And I was like $500. And I was like, we'll go on a really nice date. I was like, we can go wherever you want to go. You know, yada, yada, yada. And he goes, are we gonna have sex? And I was like, no, we're not gonna have sex, but we're gonna have a great time. And he was like, okay. He was like, I think I'd have a lot of fun with you. And I was like, you will. I was like, we'll have a great time, you know, whatever. So that's what I'm on my way to go do right now. I will mention I did go on my $1,000 date last night. I made a video about it while I was leaving that I'm not gonna publicly post. I am putting it in my private group. My dad knows about my channel, so there are some, I don't think he watches it, but there are some things that, you know, he's the coolest, he's the most open-minded, coolest dad in the world. Like, I love him so much. I just don't want him to worry about me. And everything went fine. Everything totally went fine. There were a couple moments that I was a little bit worried, but not to an extreme, and had I been worried, I would have fucking bounced. But he ended up paying me $1,500. I was only there for 2 hours. 2 hours. I got out of the concert. I did not want to go to that concert. I did not want to go to that concert at all. I was fucking tired. You know, if I wanted to get drunk, or if there were other recreational stuff that could have kept me awake, maybe I would have been up for it. But oh my God, I was so tired. And when he realized that I wasn't going to do exactly what he wanted me to, which we never talked about. We talked about hanging out. And I did not give off the impression that anything was gonna happen other than that. And he was cool with it. As soon as he found out that I was like, that's not what I do, he was like, okay. He was like, I gave you a lot of money because I want to see you again, though. He was like, you know, he was like, I could have paid $200 for this. And he was like, but I really want to see you again. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I just, you know, and this motherfucker was rich. This motherfucker was rich, like, for real. He made it a point after I was like, that's not me. He made it a point to go into the safe, in the safe in his room, and pull out the thickest wad of hundreds I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of fucking money before, but this was ridiculous. And I was like, you know, well, you know, okay. So I thought I was gonna end up hanging out till 5 in the morning, because Cardi B wasn't even supposed to get on stage till 2:30. And that allotted me to get out of that, which was awesome. He was super nice. he was super sweet. Like, I really, you know, I'm really thankful that he paid me to go out with him and that he was so cool about everything. But this is what I want to talk about. The reason why I started this video is because I want to talk about getting paid. I want to talk about your ability to get paid. So I've been in one of the wealthiest cities in the United States for like a week and a half or 2 weeks at this point, and I will tell you, most of the money I've made, like 80% of the money I've made, has come from individuals outside of the club. Okay, my phone's gonna overheat if I leave it up here. It's come from people outside of the club. Like, you can only make so much money hustling $20 dances and even champagne rooms. You know, I don't know what your champagne rooms run, but the one in my club is not that expensive. So you can only make so much money from that. So since I've been here, I think I've been on four or five. I think this is gonna make my fifth, right? I don't know. I think it's gonna make my fifth $500 day. And one of my dates has been $1,000, and one of my dates has been $1,500. Like, without that, like, that has helped significantly. It's helped significantly, and it's been so much easier, and it's been so much more fun. Like, you don't have to deal with all the cigarette smoke. You don't have to deal with trying to, like, find people individually, one-on-one. Like, it's a lot easier. It's so much easier to meet guys outside the club. So let me tell you exactly how I do this, okay? This is how I do this, all right? Because I've had a couple girls ask me, like, how are you setting up these dates? I guarantee you've had guys ask you to hang out with you. I guarantee it. There's no way you haven't. If you've been dancing for, you know, fucking probably a week or maybe longer, maybe a couple months or whatever, I don't know. I would be very surprised if you haven't had somebody ask you to come hang out with them. Well, I have too. And as of recently, I've decided to start capitalizing on that. So when somebody says, well, you know, when they start talking shit, like, you know, like, oh, well, you can come with me to my room, because that's what, you know, everybody that thinks they're entitled to fucking hang out with a dancer, whatever. Like, I would love to. I would love to come hang out with you. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to. And they're like, okay, well, you know, and then they might start to go into something. I'm like, listen, I work a lot. I was like, and I really would love to come hang out with you. Would you be happy to compensate me for my time? I phrase it in a way that's like, I'm not trying to twist your arm. And if you're not happy about it, if it wouldn't make you happy to, it's illegal to drive with cell phones here, so like, probably shouldn't have this up here, but my phone's gonna overheat if I leave it there. If it wouldn't make you happy, like, that's what I'm going for. If it would make you happy to compensate me for my time, I would love to come hang out with you. And typically the next immediate question is, well, for how much? And lately I've been saying $500. And I've noticed when I'm not the one that says it, they'll offer more. So it might be better for you to start off higher, because you can always come down, but you can never go up. And I would not be dogmatic, like stuck in your idea of what you should make from somebody if you can make something from them. Like, for example, if you're like, well, my time is worth like $1,000 per whatever, and someone's like, well, I'll give you 800. If you're like, well, no, because my time's worth 1,000, you just missed out on 800 bucks. Like, you know, do whatever you want, set your standards wherever you want. Personally, I want to make money, and I'm willing to be a little bit flexible. I do not think I would meet up with somebody for less than $500 a date, though, because typically my dates really like me, and I end up staying out with them for a long ass time, like for 4 or 5 hours typically. But that's only if I'm actually having a really good time with them, and for some reason, somehow, some way, I can end up pulling out really good conversations out of people. Like, I think the only people that are willing to spend that kind of money, well, that's not true. It's not true. It's not true. There's people that don't have much money or that are, it doesn't matter. For the most part, I've gotten super lucky, and I'm super thankful for that. I missed my turn, didn't I? Sitting here talking. So that's what I wanted to say is I know a lot of girls right now are struggling. To make money, and I'm gonna tell you right now, for real, I have been making most of my money from private dates. So that's, you know, I would never want to say something that could get somebody in a bad position. So if you meet somebody that you feel like is a bad person or is a serial killer or, you know, whatever, if you have a bad vibe about somebody, like, fucking let somebody know where you're going or something, or don't go, you know, or don't go. But I want you to know right now, that's how I've been making most of my money, is from private dates, and it's been so much easier, and it's been so much more fun, and it's been like, you know, semi-enjoyable. Actually, it hasn't been bad. Like, would I go do that for free? Fuck no, I wouldn't go do it for free. But I'm getting paid for it, so it makes it so much easier. Like my $1,000 date the other night, I don't know if I already mentioned this, he ended up giving me $1,500. I didn't ask him for the money. I got there and he looked super tired. I was fucking tired, and I didn't say anything. We were just talking and whatever, and he gets up to go to the bathroom. We'd probably been talking for about an hour, and I look at my watch and I'm like, man, you need to get fucking paid for this, because I'm not gonna wait until we go to that concert to ask him to pay me. I'm gonna ask him before we go to that concert, because, you know, I'm not trying to get to that goddamn concert and not get paid, because I don't want to go to the concert. I didn't want to go out. So I knew I needed to get paid before that. So, but I didn't have to say anything to him. He went to the bathroom, and when he came back, he had a fistful of hundreds, and he ended up putting $1,500 in my bag when we had only agreed on 1,000. So, oh man. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. And you know, this is a really important topic, ladies. Like, making money from multiple streams of income is really important. If you are in a different industry, if you're in a different industry and you're making money and you want to share what you're doing with other girls, call me. Send me a message and let's do an episode about this, because girls are struggling right now, and there's a lot of money out there. There's a lot of money to go around, and there's no reason for any of us to struggle. There's really not. So if you have ideas, like, because the last comments I just got was about talking about sex work and stuff like that, and I'm like, I need to be more diverse. I need to have more suggestions. I mean, the most I can help with, the most I can really give solid advice for is stripping and dating. But I know there's lots of girls that can do better than that. They can help more than I can. So let's talk about it. If you want, I would fucking love to, and a lot of other girls would really appreciate hearing your advice. So, okay, that's it. I'm on my way to my next $500 date. I'm going to a pool, and then we're gonna go to dinner and get some drinks and call it a day. So, and that means I get to skip work today, which I'm so excited about. I'm so happy I'm not going to work today, because God, I'm so happy I'm not going to work today. But he did request that I wear heels. He was like, maybe not your work heels. Those are the only heels I have though, but fortunately they're like 4-inch heels, so he's not gonna know the difference anyway. But okay, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will talk to you later. Ciao.